Good night again, class.
Good night.
Good night.
Tonight class I got be short, so just I go through a few questions again. And then let's wrap it up. Let's solve them over upon the hybrid and electric vehicle questions. So this one is the battery system. These questions. So the first question states, which of the following is least likely to cause a problem in electric vehicle supply equipment, EVSE, a loose or improper mated connector, wires with nicks and lumps in the insulator, distorted electrical connector or wire, ground wire connected to unpainted frame surface. So which one of them are going to least likely to cause a problem?
I think B would be the least one.
Let's say B.
B.
B sound like it.
Yeah, right. So we have two persons saying B.
B.
So we have 2B. Nobody not challenge that. The person must be why B.
A, C and D are almost the same thing.
Oh, that's a B because the insulation. Say what do you call it? Say you have an extension cord. It would be the same thing like an extension cord. You cut the insulation and not the wire itself. So it would still do what it need to do, but it would be exposed. So it could get shot from it, but it would still supply the electricity to the vehicle. The rest of them sound a bit more serious than that.
Yeah, all right. What we have to go, we have to go rule out D still. B I should say. Because so if you notice them, so we should not go least likely to cause a problem. So all right, so which one you know actually take out though?
A.
All right, so we know say A would definitely cause a problem. And somebody said B.
Yeah.
So no idea though.
If you're not getting a good ground, then you're going to have a problem with the supply of electricity.
Yeah, but yeah, and you would have the issue there if it was a painted surface.
Oh, sorry, I said unpainted.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
So in this case, D would have come out to be victorious in another one here.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you connect like ground straps and them stuff, you would, if the surface is painted or rusted, you would have to like sand it first to get a clean grounds. Right? A has definitely cause a problem. B will cause a problem because if we have a lump in the insulator, the lump can mean that corrosion is beneath it. And if we have a cut in it, it will go exposed to moisture, what can lead to corrosion. So, or it can short circuit the system on the body, right? And D in itself, same way. If we have damaged connectors or anything like that, wires, twisted wires, there's no wire where out and actually under stress, it can lead to the strands and being damaged. So D would be the one where I go least likely to cause a problem.
No, but I would read that as being the one that would cause the most problem. I mean, unpainted. I mean, if it's connected to an unpainted surface, then you wouldn't have a problem. Oh, so yeah, that would make it the least. Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah. So I'd say so now for watch all them ask the question.
Yeah.
So probably if I read it fast, I go say which one cause a problem now when really and truly them one or which one I go more like to not cause a problem.
Right.
Yeah. So that can show yeah. Well, question two. Using a DDM, which is a digital multimeter, and a fully charged 12-volt hybrid electric vehicle auxiliary battery, how much voltage should the open circuit voltage test show?
Recharge. C.
C.
We have one person saying C.
Yeah, I agree. C. It's a 12-volt battery.
Right? Because you know, a 12-volt battery have how many cells?
6 cell.
Yeah. And each cell has a minimal voltage of
2 volt.
close enough. Yeah, so it should be a minimal of 2.1 volts minimal, right? So it would mean that when the battery is like full charge, it's gonna be 12.6. 75% of the battery charge are gonna be 12 volts and 11.6 there about 50%. Anything under that, the battery are gonna fail. So once I make the battery drop charge go below 11.6, it will deteriorate the battery itself, damage the cells and so you can basically say so this is a nickel metal battery, right? Lithium ion battery will have 3 cells somewhere thereabouts. Yeah, so minimal on this one is 2.1 volts per cell. And the open circuit voltage, you know what I mean by that?
I would guess
Open circuit, meaning it's not connected to anything.
All right, good. Good. Alright, so and them other question here now based on the ICE engine. So the internal combustion engine on a whole of Ford hybrid electric vehicle will not crank after a minor front collision, and there is a stored diagnostic trouble code B2171 inertia input circuit open with no message shown. Which of the following could be the cause? A defective ignition module, a tripped inertia cutoff switch, cutoff switch, inverter overheated, battery at 11.6 volts.
I think B.
So that's again,
I think B.
B. So we have one person saying B. B for boy. No one else. No. Right, and we know what is an inertia switch.
I would say B as well.
All right. So we have two of these. To familiar with the term inertia switch.
Yes.
No.
One person saying no, anybody else.
Yeah. But I think if memory serves me correct, the inertia switch isn't just simply put on electric vehicles. They have other vehicles to them as well, like those cars that get hit in the back. They have a little reset switch in the kick panel somewhere that you have to reset from time to time when you get certain kind of leak in the back of the car. Just to cut off the flow of fuel and kill the circuit.
So yeah, so that's basically it. So in case you should meet in an accident and the vehicle come under certain impact, you just fly that breaker. So once you repair the vehicle, you would have to reset. You would have to reset the switch. You would have to reset the cutoff switch or the cutout switch. Right. So it's basically a safety switch as you were saying. So it would have just cut the flow of fuel. If it is a pure electric vehicle, so you just disconnect the traction battery from the system. Right. So that way, if the vehicle should flip over or something like that, it won't just catch a fire just like that. So you wouldn't have to be pumping to the engine itself or along the line. In case we have like a broken hose or something, but that could have spill on the exhaust and cause a fire. So it's basically a cutoff or a safety switch in the event of an accident. All right, so everybody clear on that?
Yes.
So question 4. A plug-in hybrid electric vehicle will enter the power on key on engine off mode, go into the ready to drive, key on engine running mode. There is no diagnostic. Let's say I could put off. Hold on. Diagnostic trouble code in the history are active. Which of the following could be the cause? And we have a fail brake on and off switch. High voltage safety plug. The ICE fuel tank empty, disconnected, 12-volt auxiliary battery.
A.
So A. And this would have been like a repeated question, as I can see. Because we always have a set of questions we repeat from time to time. Yeah, I get that from the previous test, sample test. All right, we have question 5, which states, and this is a drive system. A technician A says you can use a digital multimeter to check the resistance between so it's for total. Yes, I think between either the negative and the positive of the starter terminal. Study. No. Part of the question kind of cut off so much. I figure it out. So technician A says you can use a digital multimeter to check the resistance between that's the positive and the negative, or the positive and the ground while cranking the starter. Right, and technician B says you can check the voltage drop between the positive and the starter terminal stud. So maybe the positive on the battery and the positive on the starter stud while starting, while the starter is cranking. Who is right? So it's like one of them must say you must check the resistance between the battery and the starter stud while cranking, while the next one is saying you can do a voltage drop between the battery and the starter stud while cranking. So A only, B only, both are neither of them.
B.
So one person saying B. Anyone else? All right, the first said B. Why B though? Why you choose B?
Like what I said earlier, after I did read the question, the voltage drop.
Yeah. Oh, so in other words, it's like probably the starter. It's alright, but it have a little issue. So it's like the two of them are reason. Oh, if you check the starter. one person said this is how I'm going to do it, and the next person said no, this is how me I'm gonna do it. Right?
I would say both of them can work.
Right, so I have one person say B, one person say both. All right, and anybody else? All right, so all right, so the B would have been the more well the more fit answer, because
I
remember
can
what it
try it, you know.
said that again.
One technician A want to check the resistance between the negative and the next one want to check positive. Like, if you check positive, that would be too much. Can't remember the word. Never mind.
And
But
try
you're
it. So
supposed to look at too much of something.
all right, so which part technician A actually go wrong is you never check resistance with current in the circuit. Because you're gonna damage the ohm meter. So when you check resistance, you have to remove the component from the circuit, or you make sure it's enough current is in the circuit, so you can disconnect the battery or unplug the connector and check the starter itself. But what you can do is do a voltage drop. So if you should have like a voltage drop of say 6 volts when you crank. Now when you crank, you're not getting a voltage drop. Or you're not getting a voltage drop, you will know so well, something is wrong with the starter. Or if it pull too much voltage, you know, say either the starter has some form of high resistance or something. So, and that's what you can do with it in the circuit itself with a voltmeter. So technician A would actually damage the tool by checking resistance with current in the circuit. All right, so would have to just hope it's a cheap meter and use with that and not a fluke. All right, so although some tool, if you choose the wrong settings and try to use it, it can actually protect itself by switching. So if you switch to the right settings based on the input where it gets. And that so it can actually protect itself. All right, so well, for next set of technicians down here again. The two technicians are explaining the use of high voltage rubber gloves when servicing a hybrid vehicle or plug-in hybrid vehicle, electric vehicle. Technician A says that you must be sure that it's cut off again. The full sure technician, I will say, you must make sure that either the gloves are rated at least 500 volts, and it should be class 1 by American National Standard Institute for testing material ANSI, ASTM, and technician B says that the leather gloves should be worn and high voltage rubber gloves to protect the so leather gloves should be worn over insulated rubber gloves or high voltage rubber gloves to protect the rubber gloves from damage. Who is right? So technician is saying the class or the category of the gloves must be 500 volts and it should be class 1, right? And it tell the body that governs that. And class and the technician B saying that you should wear leather gloves over the insulated high voltage gloves to protect it from probably from sharp edge from being damaged. So which technician sound like them right? The one who say it must be class 1 500 volt rated, or the one who say leather gloves should be worn over the insulated gloves, or both of them?
The second one.
Oh, so one person said B again.
If I remember correctly, I don't think the 500 volts was a class 1 glove. So the rule.
Yes, so that should so that actually give him away.
Right.
And anybody remember the class, so it should be
0.
yeah man. So it must be class 0 and should be rated at 1000 volts. 1000 AC volt, 1500 DC volt. So if it is 1000 volts, it should be AC, and if it's DC, it should be 1500, class 0. All right. So this is how them actually test if you know the categories and the different regulations. All right. I think it's just the protective glass. The protective glass is what is governed by ANSI, but it is ANSI Z87. Right? That's how we govern the protective glass. The rest of them is fall under European standard. The glass for the only one that fall under American standard. So as my son can actually research them, because for level 1, them I go on make sure so they know these things. The code for the gloves, the code for the protective tools, the code for the insulated mat, and all these other little stuff. Them easy to remember, and normally just one number change in most cases. But the protective tools, as I say, is 60900, and then the tool last digits may change as it go along with the different equipments. For 7, I look good enough. Basic. This exactly. All right. So question 7 now, power electronics. So what color plastic conduits identifies 144 to 600 volt cables in hybrid electric vehicle and plug-in hybrid electric vehicle? So what color cables we normally see we know that it's a high voltage cable in a hybrid or plug-in hybrid.
Yes, yellow.
You're not sure all the options.
So we have blue, red, yellow, and orange.
Orange.
So we have orange. One person saying orange.
I was guessing yellow.
Yellow. Oh, so we have yellow.
Yeah.
We did have a next option from yellow.
Orange.
Oh, so we have yellow and orange. Anybody want to break the tie? Somebody must can break the tie man, between yellow and orange.
Orange.
All right, so orange it is then. Yeah, man. So the cable is normally orange. All right. So orange for that one. All right, so two technicians are describing the auto stop feature on a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Technician A says that the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle shuts down the internal combustion engine whenever the vehicle stops if the auto stop criteria has been met. Technician B says that the plug-in electric hybrid vehicle can come to a complete full stop without any driver input. Who is right?
This could be.
So one of them must say it switch off the ice once the criteria is right, while other is saying it can make the vehicle come to a complete stop without any input from the driver.
Let's say A with her right now, because the only way I know a vehicle stopping like that is if there's a sensor on it, that the some sensor, call again the collision sensors on it, that would have stopped the vehicle from going forward. So only we have another vehicle with stopping without an input from the driver. So
Yeah.
let's say A with a most like shown right to me.
So we have two saying A, right? All right. All right, so say A is the answer. And as I said, we have to have some input from the driver, but the auto stop feature or the stop start feature, so it can be named auto stop or stop start, stop and go system. What it do is actually a feature once the doors are closed and the seat belts with most vehicles your seat belt after buckle, right? So and the vehicle is in motion when you come to a stop like at a traffic light, what you do it normally switch off the vehicle once your seat belt is buckled and them stuff. And some vehicle, if you have the AC running and it match and it measure the outside temperature with the inside, and the inside temperature is like either too close to the outside, it probably won't switch off the engine because of driver comfort. And if the condition with the AC temperature is met, then it will switch off the engine, right? And if you unbuckle the seat belt, you're gonna find so the engine are gonna switch on back. And if you twitch the steering wheel, the engine are gonna switch on back. If you leg the brake pedal, the engine are gonna then switch on back. So the auto stop system in this feature is not really a collision feature or a pedestrian feature. In other words, like you have those other feature where if somebody is crossing the road and you never see the vehicle actually brake up. So in this case, where you have the pedestrian feature on the vehicle, like the radar sensor and the eyesight system, that system now the driver don't need to give any input. Once this feature is enabled and you actually approach a vehicle, you go too close to the vehicle itself actually brake up and come to a stop by itself. And we have other features like lane assist, whereas if you're in a particular lane and you drift from the lane, the vehicle will actually correct back itself and go back into the lane and start to make noise. So in case of sleep, you're asleep, it's gonna start make a buzzing sound to actually wake you up back. In that case, the driver don't need to put any input. So technician being unnecessarily wrong, but with the auto stop feature itself, it would have wrong for that because you would have to apply the brake or the vehicle would have to come to a stop to the feature to activate and switch off the engine. But if it's the collision sensor inputs or the lane departure, the driver needs to put in an input for do. All right, so those are just some added information right there. You can see most of these modern vehicles start to come with the advanced driver assist system. So that's the camera that you see in the top of the windscreen. That's different from the one where you record with, the black box one where you recorded in case of collision where you can bring to the insurance. You have those other ones that's in the center right behind the rear mirror where you have to calibrate them and stuff like that. So those are the ones that actually monitor what's happening ahead of you and then actually make a decision based on what's happening. I think most of them come with like radar sensor, sonar sensor. I think the sonar sensor in most of these modern vehicles though, it's just like how a submarine that give off a sonar signal or data for the whale use to communicate, where they give off signal. And based on how the signal bounce back, it can tell if something is in front of you. And then the vehicle will break up if you are go too close to that vehicle and it says you're not planning to stop. So you're not rear end somebody. All right, so hybrid supporting system. To answer question 9 and 10, refer to the AAC level 3 reference documents using this link in a new tab. Well, that made me sense. All right, so type 2 hybrid electric, type 2 hybrid vehicle without an auxiliary starter will enter ready to drive, key on engine running mode, but will not crank the internal combustion engine. Which of the following could be the cause? Same question like the other night, but look at the answers now. Remember that it was a C's was a what? C is. I think it was a C is differential or something like that. Was the last answer. So this one, similar question, but we have different answers. So we have a depleted high voltage battery, a failed motor 2, a failed crank position sensor, a failed motor 1. Hello? Oh, let's check in. So the hybrid vehicle without an auxiliary starter, meaning a mechanical starter or the conventional starter, will enter ready to drive mode, but will not crank the internal combustion engine. So engine won't start. So in stealth mode, but it now switch over.
D.
So I have one person saying D.
D.
So we have 2D. Let's see if
I'd agree with D too, based on a previous question I had asked, I think yesterday.
all right. And what is D? What D is used for?
The 12-volt system, I remember.
Huh?
The starter motor.
All right, so we can pretty much say it acts as a starter motor. So as I was saying, most of these hybrid system uses two motor 1 and motor 2. Them actually placed side by side. Motor 1 is the one directly bolted, or the one closer to the engine then, to where the engine meets. And motor 2 is behind that. Motor 2 is used to propel the vehicle, or can actually, or that is the one that is called a traction motor or the drive motor. Right? And motor 1 is the generator or starter. And motor 2 can act as a generator as well when we are doing, but when does it act as a generator? When motor 2 acts as a generator?
Braking.
Charges, I think, that's all.
Yeah, man. So I think I hear region braking, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man. So for argument's sake now, we didn't have B there as the option. What could be the next possible option if them never put D in the options to choose from? Right, them can ask about the same question and put different options. So eliminate D. We know D is the answer, but what could be the next possible answer?
A.
All right, we have one person saying A. Anybody else? All right. So all right. All right. With A now, we would have to actually rule out A because in the question, if you notice, them say they're ready to drive. It going ready to drive mode. So once the ready light is displayed on the dashboard, it means that the the motors are activated and you can actually move the vehicle or drive the vehicle. So once you're able to can drive off the vehicle, it would mean that the batteries are okay. Right? So don't make them catch you the way there. So so the vehicle is basically in stealth mode, meaning it's in electric mode, right? So right there and then we know say the batteries they are okay, right? So the next one that would be the correct answer will be a failed crank sensor. Because for instance now, but then again,
So
yes, so yeah, even me now looking back on the question, the crank sensor still wouldn't be a next option due to the fact that them said there was a no crank. So if it's a case where it was cranking but not starting,
right.
C would be the next option there. But the no crank just make you know says motor one fail. Right? And we have I think 10 is similar. Question 10. And then say, on a type 3 hybrid vehicle, the high voltage battery pack falls to a predetermined state of charge, but the internal combustion engine fails to start and it is in the ready to drive mode. Which of the following is the most likely cause? And we have a depleted high voltage battery again. We have a seized motor one again. Fail crank position sensor, fail motor one.
B.
So we have B again. Right. So we have one person saying B.
I say C.
See what I say?
We have C.
Yeah, C.
Right. So we have one B and a couple of C's. Right. Yeah, well, I did expect to forget this one, right? Because we just explain up top the next possible cause. I see them come ask about the question down here. So in this case, the engine is actually cranking in this case, right? So the fact that the engine are crank mean that it is in stealth mode, so A is out. And the fact that we have two motor one answers. Fail motor one, C is motor one. Are the same thing this. D and B are the same. So that them never say motor two, you know. So MG is the same thing saying motor one, motor generator one. So you know, so them not gonna put the two same answer. I will know say A is not it. So at the field crank sensor. So it a turn over, but it now get the crank signal. So the computer now see the crank signal. So with the hybrid system, when it come on to the engine, it's gonna work just like the conventional engines. No difference. Use a crank sensor, cam sensor, temp sensor, all of these things. So we're gonna have the similar symptoms. All right. And I think that should bring us to the end of these questions. I think basic, I'm not sure if basic they post in the group, which topic we really don't want to go back over. but I'm not sure if him will get a response, so that's why I'm just continue with the questions and all right, so I think tonight would have been my final night. Mr. Scott will take over for the next few classes. All right. So as I'm gonna say, with the hybrid thing, when you're not having a little free time, probably before you go on bed, instead of watch TikTok video or other video when you really contribute, and you can just go on Google and type in the PPE for EV vehicles. And actually can type, I go type in the site on you can go on, and then on I go see the standard for the gloves, for the overall the protective mats, the safety of all of these things, because I think with level one on our need tonight. I think with level one on gonna need to know the standards them. Them are gonna ask me question. Because one can see, them can just put the wrong standard. So them can put the standard for gloves with glass, with the safety goggles. And because you probably have a slight idea, you probably choose the wrong one because they say, oh, this is not a standard here, but at the same time, you don't know which one to match it with. So them can mix and match the standard them. So it good when you know them, so them chicken, right? And as I can see, them can put the wrong voltage. So once you know the voltage them, where you must be working with. So sometimes them can put the right standard and then them put the wrong voltage. And then you have an next answer of the right voltage and the class. Right? So you just say you're end up stuck between two answers. So you can just go through them, but then have a little free time, try learn them one, right? Until you get them. When you probably now go remember all of them, but once you get familiar with them on a seat on the paper to refresh on your memory and you see them back. Alright, so as I say, Mr. Scott, I will take over from now on. Alright, so yeah, it's a basic of cinnamon, but make sure when it's pack up on the canned food. And if we not have no leaks, so we can try to get some extra bad pans or cut some jug. Yeah. Minimize. Yeah.
I had stepped away for a minute when you started on number 7. That is on the screen now. I had said yellow. What was the correct answer?
Oh, orange.
Okay.
Yes, so the cables normally being orange.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think I did a slide showing the cables. All right, so I can turn it over to Mr. Basic. So night again.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Yes, good night, everybody.
Good night, sir.
Right.
Yes, we have an exciting session again with Mr. Jim. Even myself learning some stuff from him also. Nonetheless, thank you again for joining. We didn't plan beyond this hour because we literally have completed the hybrid section for the exam. We're going to be going into some electrical and some electronics next week, Tuesday. However, I must emphasize that I did give a leniency to persons who still want to do the City and Guilds exam until tomorrow. By that time, I should have the official list coming back from London with all the names of persons who have registered for the exam. So those persons who are still out there waiting, I don't know for what it is that is holding them, need to come by tomorrow. because I'm going to close that off on Friday. All right, because I can't have it lingering around, or I'm going to miss the date to have all submissions in. Sorry. However, I want to set the exam for the second week in December. I just wanted to find out if that was okay with everybody. About 9 o'clock. Is that all right? Whether the first or the second week in December, which is better? Anybody have any prior engagement?
It is second week for me, though.
Repeat, please.
Second week would work all right for me.
Work, everybody, unanimously.
Yes, the second week.
Second week, Monday.
Okay.
Second week, Monday. I'm gonna post the exact date.
Um,
9 o'clock.
will it be online or
The venue is good. Yes.
I was asking if it would be online or it would be face to face.
Yeah, it's going to be online. There's not a there's no practical expectations for the level 1 module. So you don't have to worry about that for now. But it's an online exam. It doesn't last more than about half an hour. Right. And I know you have some bright guys in there going to take 5 minutes. So, but you still have half an hour, I think, to do the exam. I think. Remember, if you're doing the exams, I don't know how long some of you have been in an exam room. If you're doing a question and you're not sure, don't waste any time with it. Leave it, flag it. There's a process where we'll show you how you can pause on a question and move to the next, and you will see that you have question outstanding. Don't waste any time. Move to the next question. Move to the ones that you know, and then come back to the ones that are challenging you. All right. As I say, it's not a hard exam, but it's not a pushover either. And I expect 100% pass from everybody. All right. So, again, please remember those persons who have not registered, they have until tomorrow to do so. After that, I'm going to close it off so I can make my submissions. All right. So thank you again, everyone, for your commitment in this weather and all. And I hope that the sessions have been very fruitful. It's information you can actually use in the workplace or for future references. And we appreciate your effort to be with us every night and the sacrifice we make. Every time I have to say this because I'm not taking anything for granted. So I don't know if there are persons who are traveling. God go with you and hope you reach home safely. And for those who are home, give thanks. Until next time, until next week, Tuesday, 7:30. Seems like it's 7:30 now because most people come on and by then. All the best and have a pleasant night.
Next week.
Cool.